played hard and came back and got a steal and Klang going off the iron at the end of the game, but they couldn't ask for a more perfect situation. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't.
And that one did not. It was a complimented coach on his play call as he was walking out. It was a great inbounds call on his part to get that wide open three. Zach Ward's baseline jumper is no good here as the Royals from Upper Darby standing there waiting to take a picture of the starting lineups at the scores table. They were running by, warming up. Very few players on their team under 6 foot. Very, very big physical team. Jake Kapp puts up a three right in front of the bench, and they start off exactly where they need to with a three-pointer from Jake Kapp.
And their JV team was really tall too. That did not look like your typical JV team coming out here.
Yeah, we had a dunk in JV.
Yeah, we did.
How often do you see that?
And it was a nice one too.
It was very, very nice. And not that it matters now since the game has started, but tattletale a little. And there's Jake Kapp with a beautiful block rising up on the Deer Myers, but he's able to get it back and scores for 3-2 Boyertown. To be a little bit of a tattletale right now and let you know that Upper Darby, at least 4 to 5 of them were dunking with ease in warm-ups before the referees came out.
That would be a technical foul.
If the referees would have seen it, probably. Zach Ward with a runner off the front of the rim. Here comes Namir Brown. He was one of the ones who were dunking with ease. Errant pass as he gets stopped out front. Tinney trying to get through it. He does. Zach Ward, that's going to be short. Jake Kapp jumped a little early on that rebound.
Yeah, it wasn't quite balanced there.
Boyertown starting in their 3-2 zone.
A big game for the Bears. They've gotten back on the track here a little bit.
Long three-pointer from Kaiser Slaughter.
And it's not an easy week coming up with Perk Valley and Spring Ford, so they want to get some, keep the momentum going here and into Tuesday night.
A couple big league games coming up for them. Zach Ward going against Kaiser Slaughter. Another long three-pointer from Jake Kapp off the front of the rim.
Well, three-pointers is what it was in the first game, so we'll see what goes on here.
Boyertown in a 2-3. Slaughter kicks it out. Another long three-pointer. That's no good. Zach Ward trying to get the rebound.
It's funny. There was a game at Muhlenberg one night when we were in the Berks County League, and I won't name the young man, but I remember it clear as day. He was injured, and he got cleared by Donna Harmon, our trainer, to warm up. He had an ACL, and he was finally back to not playing the game, but he was allowed to warm up. And he comes out in the court, comes out in the court and just happy to be out there, and he just takes off and slams the first ball, and the ref is standing right there, and he chuckled, and I was on my way back to the locker room. He chuckled at me, and he said, "Do you want to tell Coach Wheeler or shall I?" I said, I got it. I said, I got it. I said, so I went in the locker room. I said, Coach Wheeler, Mike Wheeler, our former coach, I said, Coach Wheeler, I said, do you want the good news or the bad news? And he said, well, I'll take the good news. And I said, the young man looked great in warm-ups. What's the bad news? He dunked the ball, so we're going to start the game with a technical.
As Boyertown starts the game with 2 3-pointers, one from Kapp, that one from the corner, Richard Black. They got a 1-point lead, 6-5. Kudos to Ryan Tinney on that fast break. They found him up front, and unfortunately, Namir Brown caught up to him.
Yeah.
And if we had bleachers under the basket, that would have been in the 4th row.
Oh, that's going to be the key right there. That offensive rebound. They're going to have to keep them off the board somehow. This Upper Darby team, very athletic, and they jump, and they're just, you can tell they're good basketball players.
I think from my analysis, I think Namir Brown was at least 6'4".
At least, yeah. I saw him briefly down there, and yeah, he was tall, for sure.
And I believe that was Richard Black again.
It was.
Under the basket, 2 more for him. He's got 5. Boyertown's again up 1. 2-3 zone might be the way to go here with this size. Kind of pack it in there. Try to eliminate that middle. They got Brown in the high post here. He'll set the screen. Upper Darby patient here in this offensive set. Nice turnaround jump shot. That's short. Jake Kapp with the rebound.
What we didn't see a lot of in the JV game was a lot of fouls. There weren't a lot of fouls in that game. There might have been 12 fouls the whole game. So
we had that in the girls' game too.
Yeah.
Very clean game in the girls' game so far. A little more than halfway through the first quarter. Nothing called here yet either. Jake Kapp with 2 more. Identical score lines between Jake Kapp and Richard Black right now, both with a 3 and a field goal. Boyertown's got 10. Not surprising. My normal announcer with me, the Reverend Kaleda, and I usually talk about how Ryan Tinney is sometimes down on the low block in a 2-3 zone. Not surprising to see up top against this large, sizable team.
Yeah, especially they take enough. You gotta. Well, I don't even know what I want to say here. I guess you got to figure out where the rebounds are going to come. If they're taking long shots, which they have, they're going to come. Those rebounds are going to come out long too. So you have to figure out where you're going to put in. But yeah, that might be the way to go tonight.
Second set of substitutions for Upper Darby here. They've already spelled 3 players. Boyertown yet to make a sub.
Hasn't been a real up and down track meet type of game, so might not see so much subbing at least early.
Great positioning there. A nice little dip pass in from Zach Ward to Ryan Tinney. That's 2 more. Boyertown's going to have to definitely pay attention on their positioning so far. They've done very well there on the offensive glass. Could not have been in a better spot, could Zach Ward have been. All of a sudden, Boyertown's up 5. 12-7, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Wow.
Nymir Brown just bodies his way baseline. They slouch on the defensive end.
Exactly.
Upper Darby now in some full court pressure here. Low, that was a tight pass into, and there's Tinney all alone. This time he gets the better of Nymir Brown. 2 more for Ryan Tinney. Gotta love the little guy not being intimidated at all underneath the basket.
Yeah, no fear. Oh, wow.
Penetration dip, that's a steal. Boyertown still with a 5-point lead, 14-9. Class over to Ward. He'll dip it around for 2.
There you go. Nice pass, and then he got to have a clear lane to the basket and took it.
Boyertown looking very good early here on the offensive end especially. A lot of pressure here. See if they can recover. They're going to leave a wide open 3 in the corner. That's no good. Tipped around by Jake Kapp. Under a minute to go. Nice touchback. Ooh, I would have liked to see. Change my mind, Jake Kapp.
You'd like to see a 3-pointer?
I would have I was just about to say I would have liked to see Dylan Class. He had the baseline, could have drop step baseline, but I'll take the 3-pointer from Jake Kapp. His second of the game. He's got 8.
And they're up 10.
Again, trying to go baseline. Dip it over inside.
Ooh, nice.
Kaiser Slaughter with 2 more. He's got 5 on the night. 19-11. 15 seconds to go. Jake is going to take that one. Knew that as soon as it got to his hands. He's got 3 threes on the night.
Well, he's feeling it right now, so why not?
Boyertown going back to their old ways of quite the offensive output. They put up 22 to the Upper Darby Royals 11, and they ended up in the box at the same time.
Did they let Mom go down and wag her finger
well,
at them?
They showed the parents, and Dad literally just put his arms up and shook his head.
Probably has seen that once or twice before, I'm sure.
Start of the second quarter, and Boyertown comes out. Talk about their offensive prowess. There's a nice defensive play.
Oh.
There's Tinney again with another layup. Boyertown is on fire here so far early on. They have themselves a 13-point lead, 24-11. Been a while. I don't know if I can think of the last time I've seen Boyertown play this well, Squigs.
Oh, yeah. This is now they've been away for a while, so we haven't seen them. But Travis, Coach Miller was talking about that. We were talking about that before the game, that he feels they've kind of righted the ship, and especially the biggest thing, they have Tenney and Ward back in the lineup, so that's a big thing for them. I mean, Cap is a good player, but if he's out there by himself, and that's not taking away from anybody else on the team, it's just you got your 3 best players and 2 of them are hurt. That's going to be an issue.
Foul on Zach Ward is going to send Alex Brown to the line to shoot 2. He misses his first.
Coach Miller is just looking to build a little momentum tonight to get into the week here and maybe claw their way into a Pac-10 playoff spot, a Pac playoff spot, and then, once you get in, it's all there.
Brown misses both. Already trying to double up on Jake Cap there as he tries to drive. Penetration and kicks here. We're going to get a hold. I believe that was on Yasir Joyner. Nope, that is going to be on Nymir Brown.
I did actually, the between periods, whoever they had on between periods as I was listening to the game. Yes, I listened to hockey on the radio. Was talking about, they were talking about brothers in the NHL, and, they're talking about the Sutters and the Sendines and all those people. So they did mention it, that they were brothers.
Jake Cap tries to put one in there. That's no good. Rebound. We're going to get a foul. Referees having a few words with Coach Miller. This is going to send Nadir Myers to the line. He'll have his attempt at 2.
Coach Miller pulling his best Reggie Weiss down there. Wilson, he's got his hand around on the ref's shoulder saying, this is what you need to do. Reggie Weiss, for the Wilson coach, was the master of that. He would be out there. He'd have his hand around him and correcting him in his ways, telling him where he went wrong.
Lead cut to 11. I think Boyertown's still yet to make a substitution.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the original 5 are out there. We got a foul here.
Yeah, that was a little touchy in my mind. You see your Joyner, number 21. Let's see what we can do on the inbounds pass with Zach Ward taking that. That's going to leave Richard Black wide open. They're going to get an offensive foul for a moving screen on Class.
Is it me, or have I seen more moving screen calls in the last 2 weeks than I've seen in 5 years, probably?
You know what, Squiggs? It may be a point of emphasis. I always
you mean like turning your wrist?
I always get a kick out of the point of emphasis that they do with the referees.
Yeah, it lasts for about a week, and then it kind of goes away. That's not criticizing the refs. It's just fact of life.
Yeah. Zach Ward tries to take it through 3 purple shirts. A little unsuccessful there. Nice little foul line jump shot is no good. You don't see that 15-foot pull-up much anymore.
No, you don't. There's the mid-range jump shot is gone.
Timeout, Coach.
Third, Josh Larimore finished in 4th place, and Mike Kelleher also finished in 4th place. So they all were successful today.
Great showing from Boyertown. Jake Cap misses a layup. I like to think he's just too close to make those. And there's Nymir Brown again down in the low block, making his presence known, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
Don't think for a moment, hey, Boyertown's up 13. Don't go away, because I'm telling you, Upper Darby is perfectly capable of getting red hot here and climbing right back in.
Lead is now 9, and it stays 9 on that missed foul shot. Upper Darby's 2 for 5 early from the line. Boyertown has yet to visit the foul line. Screen and go is going to leave Zach Ward at the top of the key. He's going to find Cap from the corner. There's a 3. Like I said, Squiggs, he was too close for those layups. Put him behind the arc and he'll nail it. That's his 4th three-pointer of the game.
Well, he's hot right now. Can he stay hot for the whole game? That's the question. Oh,
inside
wow.
To Nymir Brown. That's tough to stop that one.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't draw that. You can't draw up a defense for that on the board for
sure.
That
was a favorite play of Coach Bieber for Jake's sister, Abby, for many, many years. Ward over to Black from the corner this time. He nails it. Richard Black with another three. Boyertown already 6 3-pointers in this game. They push the lead back to 13, 30-17. 4:25 left in the second quarter. 3-point attempt of their own from Upper Darby. Brown can't handle it underneath the basket. Here comes a substitution for Boyertown. Trey Kearns checking in the game. Dylan Class will take a break. You know, pace like this, Squigs, playing like this, I don't know if any of these boys are going to want to sit down.
Yeah, exactly. It still hasn't been a track meet, for heaven's sakes. It's more half court than you've seen in a while.
Another one for Black, top of the key. Brown's just going to say, you know what, I'm going to take this myself and muscle my way in, which is what he does, but he kicks it out. We're going to get a body foul here. It's going to be the 15th foul for Boyertown.
Good decision by him, too. He wasn't balanced. He was sort of off balance, a kilter, and so he decided to pass it out. I think that was probably the best move.
Upper Darby running a high line here in bounds. Wow. Splits two defenders. Wow. Gets his own rebound. Not the second time as Jake Cap pulls that one down.
That was a move right between two guys. Wow.
Tinney trying to break some ankles there. Lovo Mulbach doing well to stay on his feet. Reverse layup for Tinney is no good. Smart play from Jake Cap. They'll keep the ball into the basket.
Yeah, going out of bounds, that's what do you got to lose?
Thought they were going to double Jake on that inbounds play there, but...
Yeah, you think they might try that, but they haven't so far.
Looks like Myers will take him. Leaves Cap wide open. He's going to get called for a walk. See, Squigs, I think I'm prophetic here. He's just too close to the basket.
Maybe I don't know anything about basketball. I don't know. I always lament the fact that there is no, it's all three-pointers now. Is this?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
If we get talking, Squigs, I think people are going to be a little upset because we're both old school people.
Yeah, I know. I lived from 40 years ago. I'm older. I've been here longer. I was told the other night I've been here longer than everything in the gym. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's true. We got to walk? Yeah.
Yep. Nadir Myers gets called for a walk that time. 2:57 left in the quarter. Boyertown still a 13-point lead, 30-17. Upper Darby's going to try a little full court pressure. That's not going to do anything as they get it across over to Cap. Foul on the floor against the Monarchs. That'll be their third team foul. Excuse me, Royals.
The Royals, yes.
Yeah, we'll see how many times I call them the Monarchs. We were talking, Squigs and I were sitting talking pregame, wondering what their mascot was, and they have this little emblem above the number on the back of their jerseys.
If you would have asked me at 8 a.m. this morning, I knew when I pulled their logo for the Twitter schedule thing, but I didn't know after that.
We have another foul.
They didn't have a mascot. They just called that, and then that was a U and a D. That's all it is. So one's purple, one's yellow.
Fourth team foul now for the Royals.
As a Celtics fan, I don't like those colors, but it is what it is.
Those were some good games back in the 80s, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Up top to Cap. Turnaround jump shot. High off the glass is no good. Good tip. Right to Black. And that goes in for another three-pointer. Richard Black, 33-17, Boyertown.
That's got to be a walk, right?
Yeah, I don't know many high schoolers who can make it from the three-point line to the basket.
It's great when you're hot, but at some point you might get cold, and that's when they're going to have to make their move.
Upper Darby in a half-court man-to-man pressure. Going to get another. Oh, we're going to get an offensive foul.
Yeah, they knocked number one to the floor there.
Oh, I
didn't see it because I was looking at the ball, but
yeah, I was as well.
He was sprawled on the floor. No.
Well, we're going to get a foul on that one.
That wasn't a walk. That's a great move.
I saw some straight up and down on that one.
Now you got to make these foul shots. That's the other thing. I don't know what there are from the line because Jim's keeping stats. But
they're 2 for 5 from the line right now.
Well, 40%. That's not going to win you a whole lot of games.
Let's see what Slaughter can do. His first trip to the line. Makes the first.
Now they're shooting 50%.
Yeah.
See how I do that?
Yeah, it's something about guard play. Nadir Myers and so far Kaisir Slaughter are perfect from the line. Blame it on the big men for missing the foul shots.
Yeah, and they're the ones that are going to get the hoop most.
33-18, 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Zach Ward trying to run it up. He does, gets it across the timeline. In your face, man-to-man right now from the Royals. Going to get a hand check here. That's the 6th. Next one, Boyertown will go to the line. Zach Ward back in the game. Trey Soto will have a seat. The only substitute so far for Boyertown, Trey Kern. Ryan Tinney will take it in the backcourt. Nadir Myers is waiting for him across the timeline. They find Class underneath all by himself. Great roll, great find from Jake Cat.
I can't have any issues with anything Boyertown's doing so far tonight. They're playing very well.
Great screen up top. As Reverend Kaleda would say, you can screen in the zone.
By the way, happy birthday, Mrs. Kaleda.
Yes, absolutely. Happy birthday, Abby Kaleda. That's where John is tonight.
Been carrying John Kaleda for 40 years.
I don't even think John's 40.
He is not. The number goes up every time I say that.
Oh, wow. Zach Ward. That gets thrown away.
No call there. That was all incidental. So
incidental, and I think Zach Ward was very close to getting called for a hook there. Put his arm around the defender. That might have been what caused him to kind of lose a little bit of bounds. Under a minute to go in the half. Boyertown jumping into a trap off the first pass.
There you go.
And there's Namir Brown back in the game.
They got to get a little more of that in the second half.
34 seconds. Boyertown's up 14.
Looks like they're going to try to play for the last shot here, and it doesn't look like Upper Darby until right now is going to really contest it.
That's going to be something.
Wow.
They get a body foul.
There we go. He could have called that either way. He could have called that either way.
This will send Zach Ward to the line. This is Boyertown's first trip to the foul line in the game with 18.2 seconds left. Not sure what the discussion is.
I think it's a clock thing.
A little bit of time left on the clock. We'll see if Joe McClellan can make some adjustments. They're calling it on the floor.
Okay. That's what I thought, too. He really was.
Oh, it absolutely was on the floor, but I thought it was their 7th team foul.
No, it's only 6. That's what I couldn't figure out, is wondering why they were shooting.
Yeah, the only reason I thought it was is I was under the assumption it was 7. But it is definitely 6. Jake is able to keep it from going underneath. 10 seconds left. Lots of pressure from Upper Darby. Class underneath the basket. Jake's going to put that one up. No good. Black is there. We're going to get a foul.
You come out and just get really aggressive and try to make something happen right out the gate? Or do you just take a possession or two and figure it out? They don't have a lot of time to waste here.
They don't. I think especially to see what Boyertown's going to do offensively. They just had ran some great offenses. They had a lot of nice, especially we were talking so much about the size of Upper Darby. Boyertown was able to get quite a few shots underneath the basket on layups. Richard Black misses from the outside. So we'll see if that can continue. That's a walk.
And I'm not talking about on offense. So you can take your time on offense. I would probably try to maybe see if I can turn the heat up on the defense and get some turnovers.
Almost a jump ball. Ryan Tinney ends up on the ground again. And that's going to be a foul on Upper Darby. We ended the half with Ryan Tinney and Nymere Brown diving on the floor, and we begin the half in the same way.
It's a Charles Dickens novel. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Jake Kapp had backdoor. A little late finding. May got hit on the shoulder there. He finds it on the low block. He's going to try to work with it. Instead, he finds Tinney, who will take baseline. That's no good. Jump ball. Upper Darby will have it going the full length of the court. Arrow goes back Boyertown's way. Once again, interesting to see if Coach Miller sticks with this. He's only had one substitute so far this game in Trey Kern. Good to see Zach Ward able to put in a lot of minutes after missing some time with injury on his shoulder. Double team in the corner. They're able to find Brown on the baseline, collapse on him. Kicking that out to Sean Kane. That's no good. Class with the rebound. Still scores in the second half.
Upper Darby, it's always the old, when you're on the road, it's always the, especially if you got to make a long trip, and it's not a short trip from Upper Darby, that, you're going to come all,
Try for an alley-oop, gets blocked by the rim.
Going to come all the way to Boyertown, you might as well win the game.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, that's what we always used to say.
Long three-pointer from Kapp. Squigs, there are nights when players just feel it, and it looks like it's that kind of night for Jake.
Well, Jerry did it today, so Jake can do it tonight. Jerry pulled in a, it was funny, he caught a pass. He was in a senior game to get a look, as they do.
Tropicana Bowl.
Yeah, and the announcer it was one announcer, and Jake was there, and he caught a long pass, one-handed. He pulled it in one-handed, going towards the sideline. And the announcer says, from Kutztown University, that's Jerome Kapp with the catch. And he was going crazy.
And there's Jake Kapp with a beautiful pass to Zach Ward underneath the basket. Excuse me, Dylan Class.
He's going crazy. And I'm like, you and I wouldn't even thought twice about that Jerry Kapp catch. We saw him make that catch 100 times.
We would have been laughing at the Kutztown.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was laughing. That, and he used his full name, which...
I've noticed that. Another alley-oop to Brown. Quickly has three white shirts around him, and someone held him.
It was a great catch, mind you, but we've seen him do amazing things on a football field, so that wasn't...
Yes, we have. And his brother's putting on an amazing performance here tonight. 5 3-pointers so far, none of which were probably within 5 feet of the three-point line.
Exactly. They've all been
every one of them
deep downtown. Downtown Valley, for heaven's sakes. That's where he is.
Technically Bartow is his mailing address.
Okay. Hey, I went to kindergarten in Valley, for heaven's sake, so...
There's a three-pointer for Upper Darby. They're first of the game. That one from Yasir Joyner. Great look inside, yeah. Even with the help of the semi-block. Dylan Class able to put that down. He's got two more. 42-26, 3:53 left in the third quarter. Oh, if he looks up, he's got Tinney. Zach Ward's going to take it himself. That Black, and that's a walk.
Well, they're getting, Upper Darby is Boyertown, well, I can't say they're forced. They're not Upper Darby forced turnovers, but they're getting some. They're getting some possessions where Boyertown's not scoring, but they're not converting on the other end. And so it's just not. They gotta start making a move here.
They're going to try with Kassir Slaughter, who's going to kick it back out. No good, but there's an offensive rebound. That's going to be an opportunity for a three-point play from Yasir Joyner. He's the only scorer here so far for Upper Darby in the second half. I gave him credit for one of their two-pointers. I'm fairly certain it was him.
I thought it was too.
See if he can convert a three-point play in an attempt to cut this to a 13-point lead. And he does.
Well, now, they got your first goal is to get it under 10, and then, work this in 5-point increments maybe. That might be your best way to go here.
Upper Darby coach screaming for his players to get up, get in your face. They're doing just that. Finney on the baseline finds Black in the corner, off the front of the rim. And there again, Brown and Tinney meet again. And Tinney got called for the foul.
Well, if you're a Boyertown guy, that's what you're looking for.
Excuse me, I got Squigs and I.
Yes. Diet Coke.
Sodas here at halftime, and carbonation playing around on my throat there a little bit. Got to move the microphone. I don't think the fans want to hear that. 42-29, 2:43 left to go in the third.
My body's grown immune to that.
Got to hand it to Boyertown as I say that. It gets knocked away. Boyertown's been able to do very well handling the ball. And I mean that by Sunday night, so that would be NBC.
Been waiting all day for Saturday night.
The brutal Chris Collinsworth. That time they find Cat from Ward. 2 more for Jake Cat. He's up to 19 on the night. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the third. 15-point lead for the Bears. Tried to draw an offensive foul there against Yasir Joyner. Got an offensive rebound.
Yeah, I mean, that was fine, except it just rolled across the basket on the iron and came out. And, there's a chance where this could be a 3-point play instead of a 2-point play, and he's got to make both these to get 2.
Running out of room on my line here for his score line.
How many does he have?
That was his 9th.
Wow.
And his first 9 of the game. Only 9 in the quarter for Upper Darby. Make it 10. 2 minutes. Just clicked on the clock. Still in heavy man-to-man pressure. Boyertown has been very patient, found a few back doors, like there to Tinney. Find it over to Class, just off the back of the rim. 13-point lead now. Inside to Brown, hard to defend that. Finally, someone else scores for the Royals.
They need to get some of that going.
Class for 3. No good.
They haven't made a lot. Boyertown hasn't made a lot of threes this quarter. Just maybe 1, right?
Just Jake's 1.
Okay, and we're talking about in the first half. We made that point, or I made that point in the first half. You agreed with it, but now they're not nailing the threes. You have to. This is where you have to make some hay, and they haven't done that.
Upper Darby's 3 goes in and out from Lovo Moba.
That would have been big. They would have been down 8.
Errant pass from Tinney. Thinking it was tipped. It was. Cap was calling the tip. Referees agree. Under a minute to go in the third. Like to see Boyertown get something here. There's a three from Tinney. That's long. Zach Ward fighting for it underneath. It's going to go to Monarchs. I keep saying Monarch. Royals, it's not. It's going to stay here at Boyertown. Upper Darby coach is not happy with those calls.
He is not.
See Nadir Myers going over and saying something to the referee, patting him on the back a little bit. Maybe trying to butter up for later. Inside to Cat. He got fouled. He's going to try for three the old-time way. Going to the line for one more.
Yes, believe it, you youngsters out there, believe it or not, there used to not be a three-point line. It's true.
I do believe the first three-pointer in NBA history was by one Danny Ainge.
That might be. I don't really know that. I would. Celtics fan, not a Danny Ainge fan, so I would hope not.
Jake Cap misses that foul shot.
Here we go.
Another one inside to Brown. Two more for him. He's got 14.
They got to get under single digits here. A steal maybe or a stop, but although Boyertown's going to try to play for the last shot, I would think give one of them the clock if you can.
11-point game right now.
Especially since Boyertown has the arrow at the moment.
Kind of loses it. Royals do get it back. They might be able to cut it to single digits here. Here comes Joyner. Jake Cap says no. And a three-pointer, no good from Zach Ward. Jake Cap doing it on offense tonight.
Under the bus, but what I always did at the table and what you do, and I'm not, once again, it's just something people do. I actually used to keep the times that the jump ball happened, so I could go back and say, hey, this goes that way and that goes that way.
I would do the same. Tinney, second time threw it away to Cap. They're not calling that a tip. One referee did. The other one did not. Upper Darby will keep it.
Well, they've had this chance many times to try to get it under, and they haven't done it yet.
We'll see if they can. 7:40 left in the game. 20 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. And they throw that right into the hands of Jake Cap.
Wow.
Nice little move around his... Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
His hands are as good as Jerry's, for heaven's sake. Ooh, there's
a three. A nice three-pointer from Nadir Myers. Now
we got a game. Now we got a game.
8-point lead. Richard Black off of his foot. Wide open baseline to the hoop. Upper Darby's going to have a chance to cut it to 6.
This is where I'm going to the block. I'm going to the block right here.
Hot hand Joyner. Here's the penetration. Going to kick it back out to Joyner. Three-pointer again from Myers is long. Richard Black is there.
That's where I'm going, to put the guy on the block and just get an entry pass if I can. Yeah, I know they're playing zone, but you can still do it, even if you put in the middle of the zone.
Cap trying to get a screen from Ward. And they find Tinney cutting under the basket for 2. Great awareness from Ryan Tinney. Get himself open and slither his way under the basket in the paint. Said it earlier tonight. Tinney's got 8. I would imagine 6 of those are from the paint for the littlest guy on the court. And there's Nadir Myers with a running 2. Still an 18-point game coming up on 6 minutes left to go.
How about that battle in the middle there between 32 and 2?
And here comes Class right now. That's going to be nothing. As Dylan Class will take his 2.
I don't see the little arc in the lane.
No, but he was looked standing right up to me. Joyner's going to drive and score. Now we're starting to get a little up and down here, Squigs.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Boyertown wants to go up and down. I don't know.
Certainly going to walk it across here is Tinney, guarded by Myers. There's a 3 from Black. It looks good, and it is Richard Black, his 4th three-pointer of the night.
Fouls for Upper Darby. I'm not saying foul out the game or foul intentionally, but at some point, You might have to give one or two.
Jake Cap goes for the steal. Ball ends up on the ground. Myers will end up with it. High dribble for Myers.
He used that earlier to get through two guys, too.
Myers will go baseline. Swinging around, great ball movement. Getting tipped all over the place. It's going to end up in the hands of Jake Cap. And if they run, they got numbers. Tinney will. He'll find Zach Ward in the corner. Defender coming up behind Jerry Cap. He didn't even see him.
Is he calling it on the floor?
Nope. Oh, he looked like he did.
Yep, he did. No, he put one finger up. I'm sorry. I don't know what he called here. Yep, they gave him the basket.
Try to prevent the dunk, and you may give up 3. 9-point lead right now for Boyertown. Brown goes to the line. Oh, got to give it back. Oh, I hope he wasn't shooting that.
Yeah, he had the ball. He couldn't come in at that point.
Converts that 3-point play, coming in for the shooter. I didn't think you could do that.
What's that?
Sub on. Oh, he made it. I didn't think he could sub on the make.
Yeah, you can sub on the make. Yep. Yep, as long as he's at the table, you can sub on the make. What we had earlier today was the rule where, and normally it was Pottsgrove only had one sub, so they tried to sub the girl back in who just came out. No time had gone off the clock, so they had to send her back, which I didn't even know that rule, to tell you the truth.
A rule you did not know.
I did not know that
hard
rule.
To believe.
It's been a long time since I've been at the table.
Here comes that pressure defense from Upper Darby. Tinney will drive and kick to Cap. In and out for Jake. 8-point lead now, and Upper Darby's going to call timeout. This is going to be.
I didn't hear.
I thought it was an ankle.
Okay, I didn't hear. Looking forward to that big Bills game tomorrow night.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Rebound, Jake Cap. Good job getting it in the hands of Ryan Tinney, ball handler. Extraordinaire for Boyertown. They're getting to count. He's got to give it up. He's got to give it up.
Yeah,
just in time.
That was about 4 3/4 right there.
Just in time. 3:20 left in the game now. Loses it. Upper Darby gets it back. They're down 8.
They got to convert here.
We'll see if it'll be a 3 from Myers. No, he'll drive baseline and kick it out to Joyner, who's the big scorer of the third quarter. No good. He knocks it out, tries to save it. And we're going to get a foul on Upper Darby. Their third team foul.
Wow. Nothing wrong with that shot. That's and also nothing wrong with taking your time here on the offensive end for Upper Darby. I mean, that's fine. There's still a lot of time here. 8 is not, with 3 minutes, 8 isn't the world for sure. They've been down 16-17 in this game. That's the world, but not 8.
Boyertown keeping it high above the perimeter right now. Upper Darby's matching them right in their face, not letting them get any air.
Yeah, he did. He put his hand out to push him off, and they called him for it.
Yep, little hook.
Hey, there's that goes without getting called a lot.
Well, it was Zach. It was Zach earlier in the game when we talked, right? When there was something down here, we thought he might have hooked.
Yeah.
Do that, get away with it, try it again. Just got caught this time. Myers tries to go coast to coast that time. He gets knocked around, ends up in the hands of Mulba. And he's going to go to the line, is Mulba for 1-1, foul on Dylan Class.
There's been a lot of bodies on the floor tonight. A lot of bodies on the floor. They just keep falling down. This will be 1-1.
Mulba's going to get an opportunity to get in the score line.
Got to make these. These are huge.
Alex Brown back in the game for Upper Darby. Misses it, but a rebound by Brown.
Oh.
Blocked by Black right in the hands of Dylan Class. Boyertown shouldn't want to force it right now.
Never make that pass across the baseline like that.
Lovo Mulba jumped on for a piggyback ride, and it took a few seconds off the clock before the referees realized what was going on. And exactly what they're doing, Squigs, is they're trying to get their team foul count up.
Right, exactly.
Because they're going to try to put them on the line, and they only have 14 fouls.
I'm wondering if Coach Miller's out there asking for an intentional foul. It wouldn't. That was.
So we may end up seeing what we saw in the JV game. We said they had so many fouls they had to make up to Boyertown that exactly here's what we're doing is they're going to get a foul, another foul.
Wow.
And Upper Darby is not happy.
That coach better watch out. He's
not
way
happy.
out on the floor, though. He's way out on the floor.
So they're going to talk. What they're going to talk about, I don't know, because the call was already made.
Well, it's on the.
But what we were saying is when you have so many fouls you need to make up, you play aggressive to go for it. You get called for a foul. That's what you want to do anyway. Best case, and then you may end up with a steal and not get a foul called against you.
Right, exactly.
Or get a turnover.
Exactly.
So Tinney's got to watch.
Oh, it's always the guy behind you. There we go.
Three-pointer for Brown in the corner
is
good. He can shoot threes, too. And it's now a 5-point game. Cap finds Black, who finds Class under the basket, and he makes it, and he's going to go to the line for one more. Big basket for Dylan Class.
Wow. Well, the Upper Darby now, they're doing what they got to do. They're going to pump up the party here and try to do what they can. And when you do that, you're going to get layups and all that. So if you don't get the steal, you're going to have Boyertown's going to be in position to get some really good shots here if they don't turn the ball over.
Currently a 7-point lead. Dylan Class makes it 8 with that foul shot. Boyertown rushes back to a half-court zone. Brown's going to take another three. That's short. Ends up in the hands of Tinney. He's got another one behind him. And they find Cap driving. And he nails it! Another three-point play for Boyertown on the shoulders of Jake Cap, who will go back to the line. And all of a sudden, Boyertown's back up by 10.
Yeah. Wow. That's some excellent fortitude by Boyertown because it gets to 5 and they're out there. Upper Darby's out there just everywhere, and now they have a chance to make this an 11-point game.
And he misses that foul shot. 10-point game, 1:36 to go. Three-pointer from Upper Darby. That's no good. Brown, the last to touch it, it's going to go the other way. He's not happy with the ref. Thought someone was over his back. And there's the technical. Does he have to come out of the game, Squig?
No. That's generally the practice. You don't have to come out. 2 technicals, it would be an ejection. But 1 technical.
Interesting to see. They're going to send Ryan Tinney to the line. Just about to say, going to be interesting to see what they do here.
Well, he shouldn't let the sub in, though. The sub can't come in until he suits these 2, but okay.
Semantics at this point in time.
I guess.
90 seconds to go in the game. Tinney makes it an 11-point
Remember, too,
game.
the technical's also a personal foul and a team foul.
Correct. So now they are officially in the 1-and-1.
And that's pretty much going to be the ball game, I would think.
He makes 1 of 2.
There's a lot of talk at the table. Is that 5? That might be 5.
Well, he's already out of the game. That's who they subbed out. Rico Hauk on the book. Getting some excitement. Getting some excitement here.
It was almost me.
You're welcome, Squigs.
No, they got to straighten out. Ultimately, if you're the visiting book, you got to check this stuff at halftime. You got to check with the bishop because the home book's official. Whatever's in that book is what it is.
Another foul against Upper Darby. I think that'll send Jake Cap to the line, and it will. Again, Jake missed a couple layups tonight. Some very contested. Not going to say they were wide open. And he's 0 for 2 from the foul line. I just think he needs to take 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Shoot the foul shots from three-point land, but that one goes in.
Isn't that another dying art, even in the pro game and the college game, is the foul shot? I watch some of these and they say, oh, he shoots 63% from the line, and they're like, that's not very good.
Well, I think Shaquille O'Neal was a career 47, I believe. So it could be worse. 12-point lead for Boyertown. And Brown is just going to take this by himself. Basket counts.
Will Chamberlain just used to stare guys down out of a huddle on the court. There's a famous story of Red Auerbach. There's a famous story about Red Auerbach telling a guy to foul him, and Wilt just sort of stared him down and said, "If you foul me, whatever the threat was," and gave him the glaring look, and the guy wouldn't touch him. They just ran out the clock.
That's good. 1:15 to go. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Squigs. Again, we're going to play semantics here.
Yeah.
But I always thought you had to go for the ball. Lovo Mulbach again just hugged Zach Ward.
Well, they don't. You don't ever see an intentional foul called, hardly ever. But it's such a misnomer. It is. It's an oxymoron. Of course, you're going for the foul. You want to stop the clock. It's like the balk rule in baseball. The balk rule in baseball says that any move to deceive the runner is a balk, but you can't pick the guy off if you don't deceive him. So,
interesting.
How do you like that?
11-point lead, 1:10 left in the game.
If you guys didn't think I was going to slip a baseball reference in here at some point, you were crazy.
Never expected that it wouldn't happen. Doesn't look like Upper Darby's going to do any fouling here, and they're going to leave Ryan Tinney. He's going to decide against going against Nymir Brown one more time. And unless they foul again, it looks like Boyertown is going to get out of here with a victory. What a game from the Bears tonight.
I'm shocked that they are just kind of walking around here with a minute left. The second part of that Will Chamberlain story I forgot that I didn't tell was the fact that the player who was supposed to, Red Auerbach told to foul Will Chamberlain before he went to Wilt, and Wilt stared him down, went to the referee first and said, "I'm not going to touch him, but you're just going to call a foul." It was Yogi Strom. It was in Yogi Strom's book. That's where I read that. I have an autographed copy of Yogi Strom's book.
He missed the first.
Yep.
Makes the second. See, on a game here, if I'm Boyertown, I get out of the way and let somebody dunk. Just to make it fun.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yasir Joyner. Had a heck of a second half here.
Yeah.
And never hit the rim.
Exactly.
So the ball goes back to Boyertown.
I don't think I've seen that in a long time either.
Under 12. Letting them have it. One more tip. And those 2 points from Nymir Brown make him the high scorer of the night.
For both teams?
For both teams.
Wow.